right? Now, obviously, with context, you can make out that that's woman, right? That would be an O and that would be an A. But determining that that's actually an A and that's an O and not an A is very difficult. And so here's a good example. Actually, our game crashed, so we no longer have it. But someone had a name started with a W, I think. When do we see Killian's ID? This traffic stop. um, it's just it's difficult to see. Yes, that one, Warman, or like WARMAN or WORMAN or even WORMO. Like it was impossible to read. But I want to be able to point out, like why, you know, I think something should be changed. Like, I need to point out why it's an issue at the moment, you know? This ID. Whoever just got timed out, if they can be thrown permit and then repost, well, I can do it. Uno momento. Oh, that works. Sorry, you can post it now. Thank you. Yeah. So if y'all look at that, the H's and the K's really aren't that far off. Like, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but I think you know what? This ID is actually a really good example because it has a 5 it has a 5. So this ID is the perfect ID. Here's why. The name is Killian Hayden. It has the K, it has the H, it has a 5 in the year for the date of birth. It also has a 6 and an 8 in the state ID. The 8 almost looks like a 6. The 6 almost looks like a 5. Like, it really is just a few pixels off. Okay, perfect. This is great. This is great. Thank you. The scrunched 8, yeah.
The flannel, yellow bandana. White, green color SUV taking off South Calais.
I'm gonna chase the two of you to try to watch as far as you can. Turn while you get in the car.
Yeah, I'm going for my car.
Looks like they're going west. They're going west on Vespucci and VCB.
Westbound?
And I still hear them going west. They did not go north on Ginger. They continued west.
Just back with the victim.
Copy. 105's pushing west on San Andreas. Gonna try to get eyes on it. 105's gonna code 6 around A City towards Magellan.
There we are.
EMS from BDB advice, got a stab wound to the chest, he's bleeding pretty badly, I'm holding pressure for now, there's only so much I can do.
10-4, I'm literally 2 mics out, my code 4 to just roll in? 10-4, I'm less than a mic out.
Let's see. Here we are, and
Inside
EMS over to your left outside.
105's UT ATL. 76 back to Senior Buns.
All right. All right, we're good. We are good. Sorry, I haven't been here in a while. Wanted to share the news. Propose to your GF later. I wish you the absolute best. Oh, you know what? Let's actually tag these. Oh, hold on. Tag. Commercial. Tags updated successfully. How come I don't see it? Interesting. Go back here. Tags commercial. Actually, let's do it to all of them. List them all as commercial traffic crime. This was a crime. Okay.
Lofton, you good with your initial scene here?
Are additionals required?
I think we have 3 of us here. We should be okay right now.
For dispatch 130, 1038 eastbound Buccaneer Way with a crime van on Troy occupants.
Gus is rolling out.
Engine off, windows down, please. Hello.
Yeah, I opened the windows on this side, but you went to that side, so...
Yeah, apologies. It's just there's far too much traffic. I don't want to get struck by by
No,
someone.
you're good. I'll just open the window on this side, too. How's it going,
Thank you.
officer?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Hello, officer.
Hello. How are we
I'm not gonna
doing?
lie. Doing better now, I
Oh.
guess.
Wait, what? Like
Cause
because of my
some-
presence?
Yeah.
Oh
You're
my
here to
god,
protect
that's so
us. 'Cause-
nice.
Yeah, we were told that some guys out there robbing us right now, and then my
Oh.
battery on this van is dying.
Oh, okay. Got it. Got it. Well, I'm Officer Rhodes with the Los Santos Police Department. Reason for the stop today is the speeding, which I imagine
Yeah,
you could have
yeah.
guessed.
I'm not gonna argue on that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Listen, for what it's worth, with just about every officer being honest and upfront and not trying to, you know, make excuses as to why something happened and just accepting, you know, responsibility. Well, 9 times out of 10 probably, you know, get you off with something far more lenient than what we could push. So
You know, you're
it's
just
for the
doing
better.
your job. I'm just doing my job. I give you the respect you deserve while you're on the job, you know?
I appreciate that. I really do. Now, can I go ahead and see some identification from you, sir?
Yeah, here. There you go. Let me
Perfect.
just reach over there for you.
Yep, just or you can hold it. I'm just gonna write this down.
All right.
Would you like to see mine as well, sir?
Sure. Sure. I have no issue with that. We are.
Yeah. Once you're done there, I do have a few questions. So, like,
Sure.
I'm not sure if you can answer, but
If you want to ask now, you can ask. There's no
Okay.
issue whatsoever. What's up?
yeah. So, I don't know. Like, why are these people robbing grime vans? Like, these packages aren't really worth much.
Well,
They're
from
just
my
clothing
understanding,
and paperworks.
yeah. So from my understanding, the individuals that are robbing grime drivers are very likely trying to sell off whatever was within those deliveries at a cheaper price. But obviously, number one, it costs them nothing. Number two, typically because they're doing this either at the very start or very end of grime drivers doing their job, they're really just trying to get as many things in the least amount of time as possible, and then again likely selling it for pennies on the dollar elsewhere. But they don't have to worry about sort of the distribution of anything. They're taking it, they're handing it off to someone, getting a quick buck, and moving on, rinse repeat. It's terrible. It's terrible.
That's a terrible way to live, because they're just pulling a bunch of knives on us, and like.
When did this happen?
Well, this one happened like earlier this
Okay,
today.
got
Like,
it. Yeah.
it was like
We
6
do ask.
individuals with a bunch of knives.
Yeah, we do ask that once it's safe to do so, and you're no longer at risk. Number one, don't try to fight.
Oh no.
Now, if these individuals are holding you up with a knife, I do want to make it clear that the stand your ground law within our Constitution no longer covers property. So if someone is robbing your van, for example, let's say you left it unattended, they're stealing stuff from within it, you can't protect your property in that sense. However, if someone is holding you at knife point, right, and or attempting to, they get distracted, something happens, giving you the opportunity to safely defend yourself, you can do that, but not solely for the purpose of protecting your property. It would be protecting your life. All right, I don't want anyone to get in trouble. And then of course you are legally required, again when safe to do so, to inform police. But what I was saying is, as soon as it's safe to do so, please make sure you call 911. We are documenting the frequency at which these things are happening. We're taking victim statements. That way we can get to the root of where these things are ending up, so that hopefully we can track it in the near future.
Yeah. I wish we had a dispatch radio so we can
So
just tell
officers,
each other.
officer, so let's say that I'm defending myself and the robber gets distracted, and then I have my knife on me as well, and let's say that I retaliated, and let's say for example he's on the ground. Obviously, like we gotta call the cops first, and then do you guys call the EMS, or do we just?
No, when you inform us, yeah, I mean, you want to make the 911 brief. You want to inform dispatch. I just stabbed someone in defense of myself. They attempted to rob me at knife point. That way we have as much detail in as little amount of time as possible, because you saying you defended yourself implicates to us that you did something against this person, right? At this point, we can anticipate that there's likely going to be an injured party. You're likely going to be there, potentially armed. You've already indicated that they, attempted to rob you at knife point, which allows us to at least attempt to understand who the aggressor here is. And also, again, you indicating that it was, in defense of your life lets us know that it's no longer just a matter of I stabbed someone because they were taking packages out of my truck.
Okay.
So as long as the thing is, you don't have to hit on every single one of those points, but you need to tell us the location, obviously. And if you do call 911 after defending yourself, please do not leave the scene and not return. We've had individuals in vans continue on with deliveries afterwards, and that's not okay. Obviously, we're going to need statements. We're going to need IDs. you know, we're going to need witness statements from people who may have seen what happened, so that we can try to sort of recreate the situation and get a good grasp of what actually happened, and then make, you know, or come to a conclusion afterwards.
But if it's a self-defense, and let's say the guy doesn't make it, for example, let's say the wound was really bad, do you go in for interrogation as well, even if it's self-defense?
I mean, most times it is going to become a matter of, you know, we still need to understand what's going on. We may not take you into the station necessarily. We may, depending on circumstances. But ultimately, we're going to have questions for you, right? Because even though, you know, you may perceive it as it being self-defense, right? A lot of people don't actually have a great understanding of the law and how certain things within our legislation is written. For example, the stand your ground concept, right? We may have someone call in saying someone was robbing my van, so I stabbed him, right? Legally, that may have been okay many years ago when the Constitution did cover property and defense of property. However, not anymore. So you see how we can't sort of just blankly just assume that it's legally self-defense, right? So that's why it's important for us to question people, even if we, you know, even if we suspect that it was self-defense and have no reason to believe it wasn't self-defense, we still have to ask questions. Because if you then tell us, you know, oh, well, I saw this person before and they stole something from my van, so I was upset and I, you know, they were going to do it again. Like that's not okay. That's not okay.
No. Dang, so if you're not aware of this law and, you know, the guy ends up dead, then you can get a murder charge and not knowing it.
Exactly. Oh,
wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And here's the reality. We all know that people are out there, you know, robbing Group 6 drivers and grime drivers, and it's terrible, right? I've even made it a point to swing up towards the Go Postal building to ensure that, you know, even just the police presence is hopefully, you know, utilized as a deterrent. Unfortunately, you know, given the holidays, we are a bit short-staffed at the moment, but that should hopefully change up here in the next couple of weeks. And then, you know, we can get units posted in those general areas to hopefully prevent these things from happening. We can't be everywhere at all times, you know, and we also don't have an all-seeing eye, so we do rely on civilians informing us of what's going on. And I'm going to be real. I'm a realist, okay? With how short-staffed we are, there may not be a response to your call, right? However, your call will be documented. So if you then reference, or for example, let's say 10 minutes after, maybe not 10 minutes, but like a few minutes after you call 911, and let's say one of the people's friends was actually pursuing you, right? And you're driving a little crazy throughout the city, you might have something to back you up referencing why you were speeding or why you ran a red light. Not that it's okay, right? But the officer may have a better understanding that you had just called 911, indicating that you were actively being pursued by someone, right? Because if you're a passenger, you know, you'll have the time to pick up the phone, call 911 while someone's driving, and tell us what's going on. And if the officer saw that vehicle actively pursuing you and then that vehicle pulled off, you know, you might just get let off with no consequence, because we understand that y'all are going through some shit too. But if we don't see those things, which happens 9 times out of 10, we get these sad sob stories of, oh, I just got robbed, I was running from someone. Meanwhile, I didn't see anyone behind them. I was trying to pull them over for the last 60 seconds. They barely even saw me. Were they really being chased? There was a passenger. No one called 911, right? You want to build up your sort of defense, if you will, you know?
Yeah, your case.
Exactly. Because again, we don't have an all-seeing eye. We can't see everything. We can't also assume that everyone has the best of intent. People lie left, right, and center. So,
you're right.
You know, we need these things to be able to sort of back what people are saying. I very much so live by the motto of trust but verify. You know, I trust what people are saying is true, right? But if I have a means of verifying, if there's something that'll back up what you're saying, like, that's great. That is great, and that'll help your case 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
So there's another pretty important question that I want to consider.
Sure.
That I know there's some laws indicate this and some don't, but I know that if you have a gun with the gun license, I know gun license is not very attainable right now.
Right.
But I know with the gun, for example, if the guy is running away and you shoot him in the back, then it's not self-defense. But if he's, you know,
that is correct. So within reason, obviously, right? Because some people would be able to articulate that the reason the person was turning around and had their back turned to them was because they were trying to get cover, right? Let's say there was a corner and you suspect that your life was still in danger, and you suspected that the moment they turned around that corner, they were going to utilize it, or maybe even run behind a vehicle, right? They were going to utilize that vehicle for cover to continuously take shots at you, right? Like that would very likely, in my opinion, at the very least, in terms of whether or not I would push charges, if I was told, you know, the person robbed me, they were leaving the area, they had their back turned, they put their gun away, you know, it was clear it was over, but I shot him in the back because he held me up originally, that ain't gonna work out so well. But if the reason, right, if the reason that everything, or, you know, that they were shot was because they turned their back and, you know, again, if you suspected they were going to take cover or something, that's far more reasonable than shooting someone in the back who put their gun away after a robbery where it was very clear the intent was to just take whatever you had and then leave, right? Because one is sort of a threat to life and it's active, and the other not so much.
Well,
Akita, thank you so much for the massive raid. I appreciate it.
I know that there's usually, if you shoot a guy 10 times, which is not reasonable, you're not, like, technically you don't want to shoot somebody 10 times. It's not reasonable.
I mean, it depends on circumstance, right? Like, what if someone's taking cover behind a car, you know, you're trying to shoot them under the car, you don't realize that these bullets are going through, you know, the side panel of a vehicle and striking them. I mean, it all comes down to circumstance. But if you'd like, here, let me tell you what, let me pull out my MDT here. Just a moment.
I'm speaking about, so the gun is not relevant right now, but I'm speaking about the knife. The knife, like, let's say, for example, if you stab the person, like, as retaliation once or twice, is there like a certain number that you're not allowed to exceed? Because sometimes
no one is ever going to tell you a number. There's no judge in this world. There's no officer in this world that's going to tell you a number, because we cannot determine. Listen, I'm just saying, if someone's on drugs, you can stab them several times. You know, there may not be a single response.
Yeah, you're okay. So it's all about response and all about the situation.
Exactly. So here's how the stand your ground stuff is written within our Constitution. It says a person can use force to defend themselves or associates in their vicinity when they actually reasonably believe that they're in danger of serious bodily harm or death. However, a person is required to take reasonable steps, such as stepping back or walking away, that are consistent with the person's own safety to try to avoid the necessity of taking someone's life. As soon as imminent danger is passed, persons are required to inform authorities of what has transpired. So to reiterate what I had already stated earlier, remember I did the whole, like, you know, if someone was holding you up, took your stuff, was walking away, they had their back turned to you, they suspected that you wouldn't do anything, they put their knife or gun away or whatever it is, right? And then you shot them as they were walking away, even though they've already put their gun away, right? You see how that goes against the stand your ground law written in the Constitution, because it indicates you need to take reasonable steps to avoid taking a life. Because sure, the property may be gone, right? And sure, that person is a fucking scumbag for attempting everything. However, unfortunately, the Constitution isn't in your favor to shoot someone in the back in that circumstance. Now, if the person was actively making threats to you, if the person, you know, still had their gun out, and maybe, you know, took several steps, turned around, pointed it at you, and then turned their back one more time, right? Like, at that point, you can begin to articulate why you felt it was necessary to take someone's life, right? But if you feel that you could sort of back up, walk away, not take any sort of action at that time, and you're going to be okay, you should absolutely do that, if possible. Again, Nikita, thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a wonderful
stream. He has
stream.
another person with him, and for example, the guy that's walking away, but then like another guy jumps out with a knife, and then you go stab the guy that has the knife, and then the other guy comes back and tries to defend himself.
Yeah,
you're able
unfortunately, in the situation you're explaining, it would be difficult to know without sort of exact details as to the distance of the second individual, where they were in comparison to the individual who actually robbed you. Stuff like that. There's a lot to consider there. Just, I can't stress enough the importance of, you know, if you have the ability to not hurt someone, even if they've made threats to you, it's very likely the best course of action.
I just want to understand well, you made it very clear, like, and I appreciate you. There's actually, you helped a lot. I just want to make sure that I don't get myself into trouble doing my job, you know? Like,
Yeah,
it's
no,
kinda
absolutely.
sucks.
Absolutely. Trust me, there's scumbags everywhere. There's scumbags waiting at the Bay City Bank when Group 6 workers are ready to unload their cash. There's
And
people
most of
waiting at the Go Postal screwing up y'all's deliveries. Trust me, I know. I've been there, done that.
we take the hit for it and they just get away. It's like this, but I appreciate
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry for all these questions. But
No,
just
no, no,
you
don't
clarified everything
apologize.
great.
Don't apologize. I'm more than willing to answer them. Just also remember this. If you did hurt someone, right, you know, while you were on duty as a grime worker, for example, and again, it was theft, and you went and did something to someone, stabbed them, and it was deemed not self-defense or stand your ground or anything to that extent, just remember, you know, a grime manager could very likely fire you as a result if you end up getting charged, because they're not trying to catch the reputation of, oh, we have armed drivers, you better not fuck with them, or you might die. Like,
Yeah.
it ain't worth it, man. It is not worth. I understand it sucks doing a job and not getting paid, but I promise you, it is not worth putting your record or anything
Exactly.
regarding your life at risk for a company that is willing to drop you within seconds of finding out you're late to a delivery.
Yeah, you're right. You know, I mean, I choose not. I mean, I don't come on the grind waiting for, you know, waiting to stab somebody. That's not why I work. But I mean, it's just like sometimes you have, you know, there's scenarios where, you know, criminals are not so bright. Sometimes you
You're
might
not
have
wrong.
somebody
You're not
that just
wrong.
comes up to you trying to rob you, and he doesn't even have a weapon, and you have the weapon, but he's still.
Mm-hmm. No, trust me, I understand. All right, give me just a moment, Mr. Owen. I'm gonna go ahead and run your record. Have you ever been pulled over
Okay.
before?
Threatening your life, or you're panicking.
No. No,
All right.
this is my first.
All right, give me just a moment. I'll be with you shortly.
Okay.
But also, that company will ask you, "Welcome to America." Yeah, I mean, yo, straight up, think of any major retailer, right? Y'all have seen those videos on YouTube, TikTok, fucking Twitter, X, whatever the fuck it's called nowadays, of people just blatantly robbing stores, shoving everything into carts, throwing it into a car, and walking out just completely uncontested because the stores want no liability when it comes to that shit. I'm gonna be real. I really wish that would change. I think it I mean, the reason the companies don't want it is they don't want their employees getting injured. They don't want injury, you know, happening to the other people as well. But them just kind of watching the people walk out with a full cart of stolen
What
shit
did you
is
just do?
crazy to me. Crazy to me. All right, August. Oh, wait. All right, we're actually gonna let them off with a warning. They have no profile. They've been very compliant. Is we over 1K to charge? It's interesting. Oh, yeah, Matt, I agree. All right. So here's what's going to happen. Mr. Owen, you don't have a record, okay? And although it's your responsibility to ensure that you're not breaking the rules of the road, I'm not going to let this be the one that you know, pushes you to have a record. So, I am going to let you off with a verbal warning this one time. However, especially in this weather, low visibility, obviously you driving a company truck and whatnot, you need to be following the rules of the road, all right? I'm just trying to ensure everyone on the road is safe here, and you were clocked doing almost twice the speed limit. So, for context,
I
that would be a $300 citation. Third degree is $150, second degree is $300, and first degree is a $450 citation. So,
What, it's a felony?
no, none of those are felonies. They're just citations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have nothing to worry about there. Now, don't get me wrong. That's not to say if you were doing 100 miles an hour within city limits where the speed limit's 35, running red lights, driving on the sidewalk, I mean, you could very easily get arrested for reckless driving at that point, but, you know, that's not what we're necessarily talking about here. Oh my god, that's so nice. That has to be Tatiana. I refuse to believe that's anyone else.
Oh god, that's funny how that that name just came to my head as well.
But y'all are going to be free to go. Did y'all have any additional comments, questions, or concerns?
No, thank you, officer. You've been
All
great.
right.
Thanks for all your
There
help.
is one thing though.
Yeah, what's up?
You know the protection of property thing.
Yep.
That's for vehicles and stuff. What if they enter your home?
So at that point, it's really going to depend. It's really going to depend on what plays out and how things are articulated. If someone enters your home, I think it is far more reasonable to suspect that they're there to harm you. However, that's not always the case, right? You may think that sounds crazy, but don't forget, people have been sued for trying to rob a property, falling through the roof and injuring themselves, okay? So, like, you know, at the end of the day, if you believe your life is in danger, you have to do what's best for you to ensure your safety. When it comes to the law, you have to ensure that, you know, you articulate why you believed your life was in danger. And at that point, a determination will be made as to whether or not, you know, a judge or an officer pushing charges, you know, believes the situation at hand.
Well, guess what, guys? Sorry to interrupt y'all, but I did ask the judge this, and the judge actually, that was actually the same question I asked the judge from the city hall. The judge at the city hall told me that the stand your ground still applies. So if they come and they try to steal your car at your house, you can't do it. You cannot
Dispatch 113
just take out a gun and shoot at them.
10-6
Correct.
report.
Correct.
Still
Because again, it comes down to intent. If their intent was to just steal jewelry, right? That's one thing. And they may have, you know, they may have an attorney that might attempt to claim, well, they didn't think anybody was home. They didn't see a vehicle in the driveway. They didn't realize it was in the garage. You know, whatever the situation is, right? They're gonna try to spin it any which way they can to try to drain y'all of any money you have. Because they've already been caught. They have nothing to lose, right? However, if you see that they're in your property, right? You tell them to leave. They fail to do so, or they have a knife in hand and they start advancing towards you. At that point, it's very easy to be able to articulate why you felt your life was in danger, right? But if you see them at a jewelry box taking jewelry out and you say, you better fucking leave now, right? And they do, you shouldn't be shooting them. That would not be an okay, you know, again, because that would be, we're back to, they're just there to steal property, which is fucked up, yes, but, you know, when it comes to, you know, your defense, it'll be a little more difficult to articulate shooting someone like that.
Well,
As far as I'm concerned, at that point, if my life is no longer in danger, then it's now, you know, time to hand it over to you guys. You know,
I
the
agree.
law.
I agree 100%. 100%.
We can rob them back?
No, unfortunately not. The way that would have to be handled, as crazy as it sounds, you contact the police. Obviously, you know, we attempt to arrest the individual for the situation. If we don't, or if we have, you know, some means of identifying who they are, you can attempt to sue them, right? But if we arrest them and we get the stuff, you know, that they had stolen, obviously we can return that. It would be evidence, at least for a short period of time, so we can document everything, determine its value, you know, determine if they're getting, you know, I don't know if it's going to be grand larceny, petty theft, whatever it is. But at that point, again, it's going to come down to the courts. You know, we may push charges, but in addition, you know, y'all may have suffered some emotional distress as a result. You know, y'all might want to take them to small claims court. Though I don't know how much money you're gonna get for suing someone who is willing to rob y'all for, you know, jewelry. Who knows? Maybe they are rich. Maybe they're not.
So, but even if they're not rich, can the state still garnish their wages?
I'm not too sure. I unfortunately don't have that answer for you. I have no idea. I know in the past, individuals were put or were given a period of time to pay whatever off. Alternatively, the state used to previously bill individuals for those amounts and then give that money to the person, though I don't suspect something like that would happen in any sort of large amount. I don't suspect that the state would put someone in debt in which they would owe the bank and then pay from state funds to accommodate that, because then the money's really coming from the bank and not the person.
Yeah, there's no discipline there.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
that's everything I had.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. Like I said, I'm Officer Rhodes of the LSPD. You guys are going to be free to go once I'm back in my vehicle. My emergency lights are off, okay?
Okay, understood.
Y'all have a good one. Stay safe.
You too.
Dispatch 130, latest 38, code 4, 130, 10-8. All right, welcome everyone. Sorry. Caught up in a bit of a lengthy, very good traffic stop. Dab, thank you so much for the 2 months. I appreciate it. Nikita, again, thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. Hope all is well. For those of y'all who don't know, I play Matt Rhodes, who's currently an officer in the LSPD. I previously used to play Kevin Shaw, though I am going to play Shaw once PD's in a good spot. That's a promise, by the way. But lawyer stuff right now is a bit iffy. It's going to be very sporadic given PD's being fairly lenient when it comes to most things. So to sort of wait around with very low PD numbers at the moment, I mean, for context, hell, we have 1, 2, 3 officers on duty. This is a receptionist. Not many people are being arrested, and even if they are, you know, we're being fairly lenient just because we don't have numbers at the moment. Sorry. Good to see Shaw soon. Hasn't changed. Is visibility supposed to be this bad? I would suspect, given that it is. I'm actually not 100% sure. There might be settings to adjust certain things, but visibility is fairly bad at the moment, so it be what it be. Cool how RP has changed, always rooting for you. Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the kind words. But if y'all have questions, feel free to ask. I'm mostly an open book. How's Cop RP in 4.0 been? Solid. Solid. It is overwhelming, I will say. Just due to the lack of cops at the moment, but everyone has to understand that, like, there are so many new things to consider, like so many things that had to be adjusted or fixed, resolved, whatever, right? Which means that obviously sort of processes and stuff are going to change. So I believe, I'm not, to be clear, I am not command. I'm not actually saying this is how it is, but I suspect the skeleton crew, which is the handful of officers that are hired right now, hold on. I suspect we are pretty much just holding off until the new year, because doing an academy around this time when people are traveling for the holidays, having family visiting, just generally not active during this time. I suspect they're waiting for the new year to start everything. What else? Now, Turner, who's played by Iceman, who's the captain, did say that they're going to be taking on 6 to 7 people per shift. I can't actually see that light. They're going to be taking 6 to 7 people on per shift, I think next week, which would be New Year pretty much. So I'm hopeful that a lot of them get through pretty quickly, because we definitely need the help. The hospital said they weren't really hiring and training until the new year too.
A grind truck with a pregnant subject inside towards the hospital. Do we have a team ready for
A maternity ward? I'll
Yeah.
for the doctor. Yeah, I'll
Camp? According to them in right now, we'll be ETA in 30 seconds.
10 for eyes.
The big upgraded numbers. That would probably close to double
I didn't ask.
current numbers. Dispatch 130, 1038 southbound to Orchardville with a blue Glendale occupied twice. Engine off, windows down, please. Five medics that were previously hired, not getting onboarded, trained till after. Yeah, that makes sense.
I want to hear something cool.
Correction. There are 3 individuals in this Glendale. Maybe.
Okay. You want to hear somebody scream?
No.
Okay.
Oh. What the, why?
Yeah, he's scared of that noise.
Twinkle, stop. Stop doing that.
That's
Jesus
fucked
fuck.
up. When someone tells you they don't like something, you don't keep doing it.
Dispatch
But it's funny.
113, show
No, it's
traffic
not. Not if it's causing someone pain.
to Alta
He's
Street,
not in pain.
4,
How do you know that? You're not them.
10-6
Because that was Twinkle's nose that he touched, not his nose.
But they screamed out like they were in pain.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
How can I help you, officer? I'm sorry, you know, Yeah, I'm sorry. I ran a few red lights, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
sorry
and also
about
driving on the wrong side of the road and speeding.
It is hard to see.
Yeah, it's
It
hard
is,
to
but
see
that
right
doesn't
now.
that
It's
doesn't mean
like
you should be speeding, right? You should be going slower, you know, acknowledging and verifying where you are before cutting corners.
that is true, pal. But when I was going slower earlier, and I kept getting fucking ran into by all these locals and stuff like that, and they broke down my first rental, and the rental guy really wasn't happy about it. So like, I've been trying to avoid these locals, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right.
They don't know how to fucking drive.
And do you have some identification with you?
I do actually.
There we
There you
are.
go, there, pal.
Can Twinkle take this phone call on the sidewalk?
Please remain in the vehicle. There we
Hello.
are. All right, so Tommy
Oh, you
DeVito.
sound better.
For DeVito, is the V capitalized?
Yes.
Okay.
Hanging out with a frog, actually.
And
There we
no,
are.
I am
Yes.
not the quarterback for the Giants.
State ID 4423, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. And Mr. DeVito,
Yeah,
have you
no,
been pulled
thanks,
over
Frog.
before?
I have, and
I'm hanging out with
the
well,
officer took my
You're getting
picture.
pulled over right now.
Took your picture. Okay. All right. Were you issued a citation at the time?
No, I was
We
All
can
right.
pick you up after we're
not.
done.
He just said if I let him take my picture, he let me go.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Sit tight, and I'll be with you shortly. Okay.
All right, pal.
Hmm.
Be advised, it seems an officer had a headache outside of the hospital. I'm sitting on their cruiser making sure nobody's stealing while they wake back up.
No prior.
Just be careful, because if you're hanging for too long, your blood may circulate to your head.
This does not seem like a conversation you should be having while I'm getting pulled over.
Okay, dogs, we'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye.
Mm-mm-mm.
He said this was the second day of being hungover, so he has to be careful.
Hungover. It means he's been drinking, pal. Not literally hungover. No, he was drinking, and you get hungover when you wake up after a long day of drinking. It's not a literal hungover. It's just what happens when you drink a lot and you wake up the next day and you feel like shit.
Mr. DeVito,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna be letting you off with a verbal warning this once, okay? So I need you to understand, should this happen again, you know, in the future, not gonna be a warning. I know you've already gotten away with one, but please, please, please slow it down. Drive more carefully, especially in weather like this, okay?
I appreciate that, officer. And
Not a
again,
problem.
you know, thank you again, and I will do my absolute best.
Perfect. Perfect.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Listen, you're gonna be free to go when I'm back in my vehicle. The lights are off, okay?
All right.
What's your name again, Lucifer?
Matt Rhodes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet y'all as well. Stay safe out there.
You too.
Dispatch 130, latest 38, code 4, 130,
Watch
10
out for mines. They're evil.
$130.76 to the hospital to ensure that CVPI does not get stolen.
I hope you're welcome to join me.
Actually, if we do have someone there, unfortunately, we don't have many officers, so I'll stay out here for now. Though, if anything out of the ordinary happens, please let me know.
Oh, don't worry, I won't hesitate. Yeah, you guys go
Okay,
ahead. I'm
alright.
watching it. Oh, he's awake.
Perfect. 113 from 130.
Well, give him a second to wake up.
It was for Alice. I believe that was Turner. Alice, you on frequency?
10-4.
F4. What's your status?
I am Ocean King.
10-4. Are you doing traffic stops? What's going on?
I'm writing police reports. Do you need me for something, sir?
10-4. Negative. Was just asking because only a handful of us, and I figured I'd want to learn what you're doing just in case.
Yeah, no, I'm just writing the reports for the last two situations. That's all.
10-4. All right. Well, we could stay on Carson. Those vehicles sound so loud and always sound like they're speeding, even if they're not. All right.
Echo 1976, Center Medical 147.
Oh, you all right?
Not really. I'm lost.
Where are you trying to go?
I'm just trying to go to work.
Where's work?
Well, my car broke down. Sorry, I removed my mask. It's just so cold.
No,
I had to put
trust me.
something on
I
my
understand.
face.
I understand. I understand.
But my car broke down and I need to get hit to the base.
The what? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Sorry, the docks where the boats are.
Yeah. Is it for grime deliveries?
I think so. I got inducted yesterday from one of my friends I met, and then he dropped me back off at the apartment, and I haven't been back since.
Okay.
See, I'm new here, officer. This is my first time in America.
I totally understand. If you don't mind me asking, where are you from?
I'm from New Zealand.
New Zealand? Interesting. Okay. All right. I may be able to give you a ride.
A grime truck.
Possibly.
Is that okay?
Give me just a second.
Just tell them I'm lost.
Speeders that claim they were pregnant.
Here we are. All right. Would you be able to pronounce this word for me?
Oh, I can't really see in there. Right?
Oh, here. Let me put it up against the window.
Okay.
There we are.
Scallop? You right, scallop?
Is that really how you pronounce it?
How do you pronounce it?
Girl, it's a scallop.
Scallop. Scallop.
A scallop.
Scallop.
Like you're calling someone? Scallop.
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 I mean, most people, here, North America, say scallop, but it's a scallop through and through.
Did you just do that so that I would say that word because of my accent?
Absolutely, sure did. I cherry pick who I ask. If there's a 95% chance, if it's someone from North America, okay, it's a scallop, but it's like more 50-50 the further you get away from North America. Here.
Oh my god. Kevin, you can give me a ride?
I can, however, I do have to frisk you for weapons to ensure you don't have any, okay?
Oh, of course.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
All right. Just do me a favor. Yep, perfect. If you just face away from me, again, I'm just going to be patting you down for weapons and weapons only. Okay. Just to verify you're okay with that, correct?
I'm cursed, as long as you don't touch my bum. I know it's massive, but...
Understood. Here we are.
Never been frisked in the snow before. Never been frisked before.
There we are. You don't have any weapons, so you're good. Have I been frisked? Was that the question? Oh, okay.
I've never been frisked before. That's the first time.
Go ahead and hop in.
Bad.
Well, so just remember that when it comes to a frisk, it's an over-the-clothes sort of pat-down for weapons and weapons only. We're not looking for anything else, just anything that could potentially, injure us, whether that be a knife, a gun, something to that extent. So we're not, necessarily going in your pockets. We're just, just a general pat-down, make sure we can't, determine that something's a weapon from said pat-down.
That makes sense.
Yeah, oftentimes, so here's the thing. It kind of gets a little tricky because if we find or feel, let's say, a gun and the person doesn't have a weapons license, that's problematic, right? Because that's means for an arrest. However, oftentimes, for example, in this case, right, you're asking for a ride.
What did you just do?
I'm technically not a taxi, but at the same time, the weather's rough, right? Last thing I want is for you to suffer from frostbite, hypothermia, anything of the sort. I don't necessarily mind, but let's say you were someone with bad intent, right? And you had a knife and you held me up and took all my possessions, stole my vehicle, right? Genuinely, I would get in trouble. I would get in trouble for not having verified.
Yeah. That makes. I understand. He's flying.
Yeah, not wrong. One moment. We're gonna be slowing it down moving forward, right?
Of course.
Mm-hmm. If I catch you doing that again, I will not be giving y'all a warning. Is that understood?
Understood, sir.
Thank you.
Oh,
All right. Let's get you over to
Peter
where you
from
need to go.
EMS?
no. Officers back in New
for
Zealand are
PD?
not like this.
There's a patient at the hospital who wants to file a report for Cadenza.
10-4. 130 is currently over off of Buccaneer Way. I'll make my way to the hospital. It'll be about 5 minutes. Not like this in what way?
You're really nice, sir. What's your
Oh
name?
my god, thank you. I'm Matt Rhodes.
Matt Rose. Nice to meet you.
Oh, well,
My
it's
name's
nice to meet
Hannah
you too.
Park.
But was that Hannah Park?
Hannah.
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 Mhm.
And standing, having
Okay.
someone stand up in the back of them.
Wait a minute. Hey, I'm doing the speed limit, y'all. If you're past it, yeah, slow it down. Slow it down. Not after I done let y'all off with a warning already.
This isn't a road though. It's a 55, isn't it?
No, 55 is on Route 68 and Joshua Road, not Buccaneer Way. And this isn't Buccaneer Highway either. Oh, come on, Panto. You got this. I believe in you.
Roads?
Is that who I think it is back there?
You got this.
Guys! Hello!
Hey! One moment. I'll be with you. Move! I'm fed up. Here we go.
It's okay, we understand. It's alright.
All right. So if you are doing grime-related stuff, I do apologize.
okay.
This is going to be your drop-off. Just a
Alright.
reminder, you did receive a phone call earlier. I don't know if you want to call that person back. But
Yes, I did. But
There
I'll
we
call
are.
it. I'll call it back.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, Officer Rose.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I really appreciate that.
Hey.
You're lovely.
Hello.
Make sure you're following the speed limit, okay, Rose?
Me
Get to the
following the
car.
speed limit.
Oh, you better.
Ash, is that you?
Yes!
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in ages.
It's been a long time, hasn't it?
It has been. What
That's
are you
for
up to nowadays?
Trying to recover.
Girl, you and I both. It's rough out here.
It really, and it's freezing.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I ain't getting out of the car. It's too cold.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't either.
I heard they don't give you
No, I
guys
just did.
jackets.
What?
That's right. Actually, that is right.
Mm-hmm.
Which means the higher the likelihood I let someone off with a warning, the longer the traffic stop is, because sometimes it just gets too cold.
Damn.
It's rough out there, man. It's rough, and we're short-staffed, underpaid. It ain't good. It ain't good.
Well, appreciate all the work you do.
Well, thank you. People have been saying such nice things. Typically, it's after I pull them over and tell them that they did a bunch of things wrong. But like in this case, y'all didn't do anything wrong, and you're complimenting me. That's so nice.
Yep.
Well, you know you're my favorite.
Hey.
Oh.
Hello.
I appreciate
I
that,
put in
Ash.
the glove box for you.
Oh wait, what'd you?
We're hanging out.
Are you sure?
Oh,
Literally?
okay.
You didn't
this
have
one for
to.
you.
You guys were in trouble.
This one for you.
Aw,
Oh, no,
thank you. I appreciate it.
You guys need a ride
You're
or anything?
welcome.
No, I think
Aw.
we're gonna keep working.
Who's
Appreciate the offer.
Alright.
who's your delivery partner here?
This is
I-
Max.
Yep.
Hi, Max.
Give me the big intro spiel, Ash, if you would.
He's
Oh.
gonna be the
You guys
mayor.
are good one.
It's gonna be the.
He's the future
The what?
mayor.
That was
The
that was kind of big. That was kind of big.
It's so big.
What's big?
The
Me.
mayor.
The
His campaign.
the
Mm-hmm.
the Mar?
Mayor.
Mayor.
Mayo.
May. Oh, wait. Hold up. Wait, what's your full name?
Maximilian Thoroughbred.
Oh my God! I spoke with Juno earlier.
Yeah.
She told
Yes.
me I made a request. She said, "Consider it done." You know what she said? Well,
What?
my request was, he'll get my vote if we get, you know, all the stuff she said, like the bonuses, the increase in pay, all that stuff, right? But I said, okay, but can I make a request? Can I ask for an espresso machine at Mission Row? She said, consider it done.
It's done.
You
It's
have my
done.
vote. You have my vote. I need an
That's
espresso
easy.
machine.
Hey, you know what? About that espresso machine, you know, I met with your captains. I don't know what rank you are.
Just a lowly officer.
Oh no.
Most of us are.
That's not
Except
lonely.
the 3
That's
captains.
still very important.
Oh, who's the third captain? I met with Slacks and
Slacks.
Wyatt.
So that's Turner. So there's Slacks, Turner, and Ruth. I believe it's Brooke Ruth.
Okay, I haven't met Ruth.
Yeah, I think it's Leonard,
Clear
Slacks,
traffic.
Wyatt, Turner. Those are the three.
Maybe we can make a little deal here.
105
A
traffic.
little under the table
Elgin.
deal, if you will.
Oh, that sounds not good. That's a little.
Well,
that's
it's
a
not.
little
What I'm gonna ask you is not illegal. I promise.
Okay. And you're not
If
going to
it-
phrase it in like a, a roundabout way where it's like probably technically illegal, but like could be viewed as not illegal. How about
No,
you just
I
ask?
promise. Okay, I'm just gonna ask. Okay, I met with your captain, 2 of them, and I need someone, kind of on the inside to tell me what they thought of me, because they're not gonna tell me to my face. That's all. That's not illegal, is it, Ash?
I don't think so.
I don't
but
think
I don't know
it's
if he could say.
illegal as much as it may be like,
Betrayal?
when things are said behind closed doors, there's kind of like an expectation of privacy, and
Right.
I wouldn't want to ruin that amongst the people who I work with,
Well, yeah, but on the same.
But
on the same
I
hand,
am a tea stirrer. I'm gonna be real.
Okay.
So like, if it's small stuff, I'm okay with that. Wait, hold up. What kind? Are you like? You want the inside deets as to like who people are saying they're voting for? That kind of stuff?
I just, for example, maybe it comes up in conversation where you're like, oh, who are you guys voting for? And if they say not me,
Find
maybe
out
ask-
why.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
oh, I noticed a lot of people are voting for Max. Why aren't you voting for Max? Shit like that.
So you want the talking points that are going to get you the votes. If someone says, well, I'm voting for this person because they're getting us an espresso machine, you want that info so you can be the one to give them an espresso machine in addition to everything else.
Correct.
Okay.
That's not illegal, is it?
Well, it's not, but like if we're all having a major meeting, right, and something happens or is stated within the meeting, there is kind of, like I said, that expectation of privacy, but like personal
Sure.
conversations, I mean, I don't think there's much an issue with that.
Nice. All right, that's my request. I'll get you an espresso machine plus whatever you want. And that's a promise.
Yeah, but you can't. See, now I'm a little suspicious. How are you going to promise something like that without knowing what I want?
I've been doing it to everybody. It's been working out pretty well.
Do people not question how you're going to be able to give everyone everything they want?
Not a single person, except for you.
Really?
Yep.
That's right. He's a thinker.
And just to verify, you said this before, you made this promise before they ever stated what they wanted.
Some people, honestly, it's an issue of decisiveness amongst the local populace of Los Santos. Most people don't know what the fuck they want, right? A couple people may have said something that they want, and of course it's easier for me to promise that. Normally my pitch is, hey, I'm Max, I'm running for mayor. What can I do for you? What do you want? And then most people are like, I don't fucking know. Or, oh, I'll tell you later, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
How many
okay.
people have said weapons licenses?
I got 80 cents.
Well, I cut them off at the base and told them I would be giving them guns.
But what if you said it to a felon?
Legally acquired guns.
No felon shit, right? Honestly, I've been pushing for the electric chair for people who sell guns and whatnot.
Hold up. I may have to make have you met Pigeon?
No.
Okay. Interesting.
Well, when I say, selling guns, I mean like someone who has a legal license, basically.
I know. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. Yeah. Well, okay, maybe not that one, because that one's a little iffy. Someone could just have been robbed several times. Kind of like rhyme drivers over and over and over.
Oh, when people get their weapons licenses, there are gonna be so many people robbed. It's gonna be terrible, to be honest.
I doubt it. I imagine we previously did have a charge for the theft of firearms from civilians, and it was pretty severe. I imagine something similar would be taking place to sort of prevent behavior like that. If you're found with a stolen civilian firearm, The consequence of that should be very high to discourage
yeah.
people from doing that.
It's gonna be me. The council and I've already met with a lot of the council, and we kind of